friends. Hello, guys. Welcome to another meaningful conversation, this time with the newest writer on board, Amelia Ysabel Castro, or simply Leah to her friends. She has debuted her very first novel titled The Next Guests. Leah also serves as a singer in the music ministry at the Feast Ortigas. She spends most of her downtime reading books, writing stories, singing pop songs, and playing the guitar. Hi, Leah. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Hi, everyone.
What have you been up to these days? Like, have you been writing more songs, or have you been writing another set of stories after the next guest?
Well, now I'm actually collecting more ideas for the second
Mm-hmm.
half of this book. And most of what I've been up to these days is just I've been relaxing. I've been
Mm-hmm.
refreshing my mind because that's what we really need if we want more ideas. And playing guitar.
Yeah, yeah, it's important that we're not so stressed these days, diba? Because of the pandemic. And yeah, for those who are asking how they could combat writer's block, Leah's got the answer for that. You need to refresh your mind, okay? And maybe
Yes.
stop writing if you're not, if you're not really ready to like pick up your pen. So maybe you could refresh your mind and gather more material, maybe. Okay, now let's
Yes.
talk about your novel, The Next Guest, which
Okay.
is about four teenagers. I've read the blurb. It's about four teenagers who, are in a mysterious place. But can you tell us more about these four teenagers? Like, what are their characters like? Who are they?
Well, these four teenagers, I made sure that at least two of them, that's the before, so at least two of them, they know each other from their lives before they came to the
Mm-hmm.
mansion. And um, I created them in different what do you call that? As with different lives as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
this person is into this person is into that. I created them different because when you're different, when they have different talents, different hobbies, somehow when they come together, that's when they really fit in that big puzzle that we're trying to solve. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So for each person, for each character, there's a backstory. How was the
Mhm.
world building like?
Ooh, it's actually very fun because I
Mm-hmm.
am a book lover. I've read a lot of books from amazing
Mm-hmm.
authors. And what I do is just I look outside. What is the world like? I look at
Mm-hmm.
different people's backstories and then I write them in my own words, in my characters.
Nice. So you do a lot of research as well. Many writers, especially those who are just starting to write their own books, have problems in terms of creating worlds or building their worlds. Okay, but we'll talk
Yeah.
about that more of that later. Okay, now,
Yes.
did you have any inspiration? You said you like to read a lot of books. What were the books that served as inspiration for the next guests?
So for me, it went to my top three favorite
Mm-hmm.
book sets. One is the Twilight Saga from Stephanie Meyer. Second was the Percy Jackson set from Rick
Mm-hmm.
Riordan, and the third is the School of Good and Evil by Soman Chainani. To those who have read it, you know that these stories are all different.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm looking for. Some when I read it, I'm like, whoa, it's wow! I love how each of them in each book it's like a different storyline yet it connects all of
Mhm.
together. So I was like, oh, I want to create something like that. I want to create my own world. I want to create my own book like them. So that's how the next guest was born.
Mhm. How would you describe like the atmosphere in the next guests? Like which is it closest to in those three novels that you mentioned?
Well, the closest of the next guest would probably be the Twilight Saga.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
With the
that
mysterious
one.
yeah.
Yes,
With the
definitely the
mysterious
Twilight Saga.
atmosphere. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've read only one book. I think the first book. Okay. Yeah, and I was young. I was young, maybe. Okay, I'm going to mention how old I am now. But I think when I read that, I was in my 20s. Okay, so definitely not a teenager anymore. Okay, but anyway, what about the Twilight? Really captured your attention. What about Twilight captured your attention and made you say that this is the perfect setting or the perfect atmosphere for what I'm going to write.
It was it was the vampire thing, cause
Mm-hmm.
those I don't really want to spoil it, but they're vampires in that book. And then when
Okay.
I read it, I was like, wow, it has a mix of fiction and nonfiction at the same time. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I want to do this. I want to create a book as well, create my own creatures, create my own, how do you call it? My own, let's say, scenario that looks like,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like it, but it also says me.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it actually started.
Where is this like set? Is it set in a fictional world or is it set in the Philippines or in another country?
For me, I would say in a fictional world.
Okay, fictional world. I like
Mm-hmm.
the cover. I like the cover. Did you do the cover?
Oh, it was actually made by one of my mentors, who's a wonderful artist, Ate Jewel Villarisco.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to thank her because she actually um she actually surprised me with this, and I'm so happy with it. It still gives me goosebumps when I look at it. So
It looks so pro. It looks so pro. Yeah, I really love the cover. Yeah. Okay, now well, I read that this is your debut novel. So
hmm
like I said, how was the experience of like the first time you're trying to complete your manuscript? Okay, like how long did it take you to complete the manuscript? And what was the process of, or what was the experience of self-publishing
so
your book?
thank you. So writing the manuscript, I think it took me around 2 months to write it.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I wrote like a chapter every day. At least my goal was like at least in a week 2 or 3 chapters. So because this is also a passion project at school, and then I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I wanna do this, and the process is actually fun. Took longer than I expected, but it's very fun. Like writing it, and then putting in the little details of the, and
Mm-hmm.
it was tiring then, because there were nights that I would be able that I slept late, but it's all worth it in the end.
How
So
did you write something in 2 months? I mean, like what tips maybe, because I'm one of those people who can even complete a novella in 5 months. So was the what was the discipline there? Like, did you
for
have like
me,
a certain time, yeah, of
it was a
writing?
deadline. As I said before,
Mm,
it was a passion project at school. We had like
okay.
this thing called the mid-year. So what we do
Mm-hmm.
is that we showcase what our talents. So I showcased my
Mm-hmm.
talent to writing a book, and then we had a
Mm-hmm.
deadline. So I actually started writing the draft around summer. Then I stopped. Then when the our project came, I was like, okay, this is the perfect opportunity. I looked at the deadline and I was like, oh my gosh, wait, it's so near. So I
Mm-hmm.
started writing.
It
I
sounds
started,
like NaNoWriMo, right? It sounds like NaNoWriMo that you had when you had to complete one novel. Yeah, I think
yes,
all of us could have that practice. Maybe all of us could have that passion project with a deadline, like a very strict
yes,
deadline.
a very
Okay,
strict
now,
deadline.
yeah. Okay, now you mentioned you had a mentor. Okay, like did
hmm
you also have like these writing retreats, for example?
Oh,
Like what was
what,
the
for
techniques that
me,
you think were taught to you that
hmm
you were able to apply to your book?
I actually started, I just want to mention this. I actually started writing a few years back, and
Mm-hmm.
I joined this writers club. It piqued my interest because One of my teachers there, she taught me how to create fictional stories, protagonist, antagonist, all the basic stuff about
Mm-hmm.
writing. And then one during this process, one of my mentors, she's actually also an author. So she also
Mm-hmm.
helped me, she gave me her honest opinions, suggestions on what to do, and that's what really helped me with this. And also my parents, because um, one of my dad's friends is also a night writer, so he was able to help me a lot during this, and I'm very grateful for that.
What were the major lessons that you're really grateful for? Out of all of these things that were taught to you, like, can you mention like two or three major lessons that you feel like you'd want to apply in all of your books, in all of your outputs?
Well, one of the major lessons I've learned during this process is to just do it. They were sponsored by
Mm-hmm.
Nike. Joke lang. Just do it. It's true. You just really gotta do it because
Mm-hmm.
I'll be totally honest. I wanted to write a book for so long. I had like
Mm-hmm.
5 or 4 stories in line on my notebooks, but I didn't like publish it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I gotta do this because how am I gonna achieve my dream that I want to be if I don't actually put action to it? So I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, it's for the writers. Just keep on writing.
Mm-hmm.
As I look back to my old notebooks, because that's where my old notebooks. I've seen my a lot of short stories that I wrote, and I'm like, oh wow, look at I was really proud of my progress during it, and yeah, so just do it and just keep on writing, because the more
Mm-hmm.
you write, it really improves on whatever it is that you're writing about.
Absolutely. So those who are listening or watching our show, that's all you need to do. Just if you want to publish something, just you just need to start. Okay, just start the first page and keep on doing it. Thank you so much for those tips, Leah. Okay, now anything else that you would like to say about your book? For example, is it already available in the bookstore? What do we get? For example, if they is there like what's the price? What's the price of your book?
I'm not really exactly sure yet. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not exactly sure if it's in the bookstores, but it's actually available now in eight letters website.
Mm-hmm.
The book price is 349. I actually have it right here beside me. 329. Okay, I'm sorry, 329. And I actually have it right here beside me. It's already ready to be shipped, so you get just purchase it, and it will be sent to your homes.
We would really, really love to see more of your stories, Leah. And well, because I think you love music. Okay, so maybe next time you could write your own songs as well. Maybe share that to the world also. I'm
I
not
hope
sure.
so.
Do we have questions from the audience? Okay, yeah, somebody's saying congratulations. Okay, but it's a Facebook user, so I can't really see who that is. Okay, so if there are no more questions from the audience, hold on. Okay, so maybe invite them to your social media handles. Where can our viewers follow you? You have a
Okay.
page.
We actually have an official page of my book. It's called The Next Guest. Just check it on
Mm-hmm.
FB. You can also follow me. You can also follow me in Facebook, Amelia Ysabel Castro, and you can also follow me on Instagram in Amelia Ysabel.
Okay, thank you. So those who would like to connect to Leah, you have her IG. Then you can also send her a message through the official Facebook page of the next guest. Okay, you can also have a very fruitful conversation about the book. Thank you so much, Leah, for sharing your story and your time with us. We really hope to see more of your work and guys, if you're into mysteries and adventure and a somber atmosphere in your novels or in your reading material, grab Leah Castro's The Next Guests. And again, thank you guys for being with us tonight. We'll see you in the next Lit Fest. Have an awesome night. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.